previously.
Yes, Master Mercury.
You're not using mind control to convince your followers though, are you?
It's just my natural charisma.
I'm here for allegedly stealing the timeless timekeeper.
Well, apparently you, or someone that looked one hell of a lot like you, broke in and did exactly that.
Loki came here earlier to get a skinwalker relic from the basement. I followed him to find out why his family had been arrested by the SCIA.
They've been what?
Objection.
I told you I'd find the person responsible for this mess, and I did.
Well.
Fuck.
Those people don't seem to care about a proper trial involving real evidence.
Loki, I'm glad you came so quickly.
Why wouldn't I? It seems that sorting out the mess you created has become my favorite pastime.
So this is the infamous Lorenzo Mammini, Tiamo and Wilbica's father. It feels wrong that I get to meet you today, whereas your children haven't seen you in 16 years.
It won't be long until we can all get together in peace, without being threatened by witch hunters, intelligence agencies, or the magic community. But who are you again?
Nathan Knudsen. Tiamo and I went to Ubright together, and he introduced me to my new life as a vampire.
Ah, right. You're about to get married, aren't you? Why didn't you bring your fiancé?
Technically, Espra is not my fiancé yet. But how come everybody knows about my plans to propose to her, even people I've never met before?
Whatever, she can't be here tonight because she's in prison too, thanks to you, Lorenzo. So let's skip the pleasantries and get to the point. Your message said you had a plan to break our family out of the SCIA prison without making us fugitives for the rest of eternity. I'm listening.
Of course. Come in.
Mercury?
Okay, now it all makes sense. He must have told Lorenzo about me and Espa.
Your grandfather is an interesting man, Loki. Yes, he told me all the obscure details about your family, that he's Tiamo's father, and you're his grandson from the future. Who would have thought? Still, I never agreed to help out. To the contrary, in fact, I argued in favor of letting your family rot in prison. Yet here he is, presenting me to you like some kind of secret weapon.
That's fine, I don't want your help anyway. You'll ask for something in return, and considering your opinion on my family, it will be something much worse than SCIA imprisonment.
Not so fast. Now that we're all here, let's talk about it at least.
If you had told me on the phone that this was your great plan, we could have avoided this pointless meeting. I was hoping your plan would involve swallowing your pride and turning yourself in to exonerate the others. But I should have known that it takes a bigger man than you to take responsibility for his actions.
Well, it sounds like you've made up your mind. In that case, I'm sure you'll excuse me.
Wait, don't leave. Loki, I know this is all my fault, but I did indeed swallow my pride and asked a vampire for help. Now I'm asking you to do the same. Remember what's at stake, and that our family is innocent.
Innocent? Please. Even though they didn't steal the artifact, it wasn't for a lack of trying, not to mention all the other crimes they have actually committed and gotten away with in the past. Maybe this is just karma catching up with them.
I didn't think you of all people would believe in such things.
Well, mortals used to revere me as a god for a good while. If that's no reason to be a little superstitious, I don't know what is. And as a former god, I'm telling you, this is not a good idea.
Then why are you still here?
Because despite everything, I'm still a businessman. For a price, I would be willing to set my morals aside and help you. And if today's solutions lead to tomorrow's problems, I'll deal with them tomorrow.
I mean, it's not like we have a better plan. Or any plan at all. And it's not just about the Mamminis. Esper is stuck in prison with them.
What do you want?
Shadow Veil.
Then you're asking the wrong guy. I can't give you something that doesn't belong to me.
I think it does. After the hunters left, their old hideout was given to the vampires, on the condition of your appointment as ambassador to keep the peace between them and the magic community. Shadow Veil may not have a proper owner, but you're the closest thing it has to a mayor. And after the recent conflict within the magic community that basically removed the ageless sage from the picture, you're the last person who still wields any authority in that regard.
And you want to relieve me of my duties?
Think of it like this. I help you get your family back, and you give me an underground city that you never really cared about. You can keep your apartment above the restaurant if you want. The only thing about to change is that we'll be playing by my rules, and I'll be the one handling people who break those rules, instead of you or Charmaine, who hates being your second in command anyway. Is that really such a bad deal?
I'm not sure I like this. Oh, if only Esper were here. She could draw up a contract to make sure no one gets ripped off by this deal.
Your girlfriend is a decent enough person, Nathan. I wouldn't mind signing a contract formulated by her, if that helps put your mind at ease. But for that, we have to get her back first, and I'm not the one who needs convincing.
Loki, please.
I need to think about this.
It's been hours, and Tiamo is still frozen. But most of the ice has melted, so I guess it's only a matter of time until he'll start moving again.
He can stay this way forever for all I care. I wish Ilium had frozen the entire family. It would serve them right. They did the same thing to me when they broke in.
I'm beginning to understand why you're so attracted to that blue-haired witch. He's very powerful. Do you like that in a man?
North, just because the director believes in your innocence and reinstated you, doesn't mean you get to revert back to your old ways. I'm sure she meant it when she told your evil twin that one more instance of sexual harassment would get you fired.
What? Is asking a simple question also considered sexual harassment these days?
Depends on the question, and the person asking. Every conversation with you always ends up going in the same dirty direction sooner or later, so I'd rather not have it in the first place.
You're just afraid that you might slip up and reveal your true feelings for me.
North.
Fine. I'll give you some space, and check on the prisoners.
The unresolved sexual tension between you two has become unbearable. When your co-worker gets back, I want you to reveal your true feelings for him, and act on them.
Damn it. This can't be the end of the evil alliance.
Don't worry, you can still be mischief in prison. You'll just have to get used to wearing orange instead of black. Orange is the new black anyway. That's what they say on that show your sister has been watching, isn't it?
Oh, Aya. I didn't realize anyone else was still up. Or that you could turn into a ghost.
Yeah, you could say I died of boredom while waiting for my turn to brush my teeth. Leviathan has a good reason for hogging the sink. He needs the water to feel like a real merman. But you...
Sorry. I am doing what I can to keep my fangs from showing, and that requires excessive dental hygiene. I don't like it either, but it is what it is.
If it helps, I keep forgetting that you're a vampire. You're so much more despicably civil than most bloodsuckers I know.
I'll take that as a compliment, I guess. But right now, I wish I was a stronger vampire, with telepathic powers or something similar, so I could talk to Nate and ask if he's okay, and if he and Loki have come up with a backup plan to get us out. Can you use your ghostliness to contact them?
Not with that stupid candle around. They also took our phones, the bug in my ear, and the skinwalker relic. So I'm afraid we're fucked.
Is it true what the director said? Do you use those relics often to turn yourself into other people or animals, just to go around and cause trouble?
What for? If I ever feel the need to hide my identity, I just put on some enchanted shades. Salvadoradian magic is too unpredictable, and I have not yet figured out how to use it on only one person at a time, rather than switching certain properties of two or more.
So that's why Nate had to become a dog so a bitch could become human.
Yes. And if I had done it wrong, we could all be dogs right now.
That's reassuring.
Besides, the first such relic we had broke after a while, and this new one was very hard to obtain, so I'd rather not risk it by using it too often. Today was an emergency. Too bad it was all for nothing. That Ravenhurst is a cunning old hag. And with that telekinetic guard dog by her side, this is going to be more difficult than I expected.
Hey there.
Who is that?
Ah, Agent Underwear. The one we helped prove his innocence when Ravenhurst accused him of stealing the timeless timekeeper. I'm sure he has come to return the favor by letting us go.
It was your magic that got me into that mess in the first place. No thanks, you've caused me enough trouble to last a lifetime. I just wanted to check if everything is alright in there.
Actually, no. This cell is triggering my claustrophobia.
Then get some sleep, it's late anyway, and you'll get used to it by morning. Good night.
Can you believe this rudeness?
All this trouble just for some magical clock. What use is this thing if we can't use it to turn back time and avoid this unpleasant situation?
We don't need to. Mercury made us an offer, and he is right. You never really cared about Shadow Veil.
No, I don't. And neither should you. Don't you get it, Nate? Me losing my position as ambassador is the least bad thing that could come out of Mercury taking over. He could incite the vampires to go to war with every other occult species, and I would be powerless to stop him.
But you'd have your family to fight by your side. Isn't that all that matters? You've already made your decision, I know it. Because deep down, you take after your grandmother.
After Aya. Not a comparison I would have made, but you know best, I guess.
Could you give us some privacy, Nathan?
What? Oh, sure. I'll be upstairs, watching over Mercury, just in case he decides to do something. Whatever.
I realize you're from the future and thus all-knowing, so I'm probably not telling you anything new here. But 16 years ago, my marriage broke apart when the ageless sage tried to call in the favor your grandmother still owed him for the witch powers she'd received from him.
He was planning on sacrificing Tiamo and Wilbica to save the magic realm. You wanted to talk about it, as usual, but she refused. Yes, I know the story. But would you really have gone through with it?
Back then, honestly, I can't say. Nowadays, no, probably not. I'm not the heartless monster Aya makes me out to be. But I don't think she realizes what big of a deal the sage's request was.
It doesn't matter. Nothing is more important to her than her family.
And that's what you two have in common. It's why you traveled back in time, isn't it? Not just to experience a version of our planet that still has all 4 seasons, but also to be with your family, especially the members that you never properly got to know in your own time. And you won't see them a lot when they're in prison.
So you're encouraging me to accept Mercury's deal? No surprise. But what is his plan anyway? What can he do that none of us can?
Ask him, and he'll tell you. You can still say no then.
Can you believe that old crone? She actually asked me to. Whoa. What happened to your uniform?
It's over there in the corner somewhere, feeling lonely. You should put yours on top of it.
Just a few minutes ago you were accusing me of harassing you for asking a simple question, and now this? What has gotten into you?
Nothing yet, but I want you to get into me.
Biddy, that's...
What's the matter? Let me guess, you're used to being the seducer, not the target of seduction. But you know, I'm getting tired of that old-fashioned custom of just men hitting on women, never the other way around. I'm a feminist. It's time for me to take the wheel.
Well, if you say so.
What is it, bitch?
I think she's looking at the... That camera just stopped working.
The LED light went out.
Exactly. Nate told me that's how you can tell.
In movies maybe, or very old models. The SCIA was smart enough to wear magic-proof jewelry and put sacred candles in front of our cell. Do you really think they'd also be stupid enough to use outdated surveillance equipment that tells us exactly whether or not it's working?
Actually, yes they do. I noticed as much when I hacked the cameras the other day. I just didn't mention it because I didn't think it would ever come in handy.
Well, we're still stuck in this cell, so how exactly does it come in handy? You all might as well go back to sleep.
How could we, when you just won't shut up?
Yeah, seriously, go to bed already. Aren't you tired at all? Whatever you did to piss off the SCIA to the point that they locked you up must have been exhausting. Then again, what do I know? Perhaps this is just a regular Thursday for you.
Wait a second. Is that Aaron Bell's voice?
We were surprised as well, but yes, he's our new neighbor, at least for the time being.
Shit.
These walls are thinner than they look. Not thin enough to smash them in with my bare fists and escape, but I still get to listen to your nonsense all day, and I'm fed up with it. Not having to see or hear you was one of the few benefits of life in prison, but maybe this is part of my punishment. Can't wait to get back to the high security compound already.
Too bad for you then that we might be coming with you. They do have separate prisons for dogs though, right?
If you want to sleep so bad, dirty cop, then just close your eyes and fall asleep. You're so tired and exhausted that you won't wake up for at least 5 hours, even if something explodes right next to you.
Tiamo, finally. I was getting worried about you being a popsicle for so long. Ilium's freezing spells must be a lot more powerful than mine.
Nah, I defrosted a long time ago. But I had to pretend to still be frozen until my guards weren't looking. For now, they should be too busy with more enjoyable things to even notice that I'm gone. Honestly, I envy them a little.
Clever. That's my boy. And you switched to your barely known human form too. Now you can pretend to be just another guard taking us to a different cell, for some reason.
Bad idea. We can't just walk out of here through the front door, no matter how we look or don't look. Even with some of the cameras disabled and the guards not recognizing Tiamo for who he really is, there are many security doors that sound an alarm if the wrong person goes through. At least if this HQ is anything like the one I used to work at.
Any ideas?
Well, as Aaron said, the walls are pretty thin. And this one is badly damaged already.
The cameras in the hallway are out for sure.
Yes, I disabled them myself.
Then step aside.
Using these portals to travel across great distances is very practical. Too bad they all lead to the magic realm, a place none of us wants to go anymore. One thing I might have to correct once I'm mayor of Shadow Vale.
But you're not the mayor yet. So how about you keep your ideas to yourself and focus on the task at hand?
Guys?
Is there a reason for your hostility, Loki? After all, I'm helping you, putting my life at risk in the process. Or did you think you were the only one that might lose something tonight?
So far, the only thing you've been risking is getting sand on your fancy suit. I'm still waiting to see what you'll do against an army of highly trained soldiers equipped with modern firearms and magic-proof technology.
Hello?
Remember when you accused me of using mind control on my followers at church? You weren't completely wrong.
What else is new?
I do use a mild form of it, not to completely change who they are or what they do, but to gently guide them along the right path and give them the confidence necessary to keep going. It's a subtle method I've perfected over millennia, one that can be deflected by any kind of modern magic-proof technology. Those highly trained mortals might scare you, but not me.
Hey, could you stop arguing for a second? We've lost Lorenzo.
What?
Not lost. He must have used the opportunity to sneak off and avoid coming face to face with the family he abandoned. Once a coward, always a coward.
Looks like cowardice runs in the family.
We don't need Lorenzo for the next step anyway. Not if this bragger can deliver on his promises. Come on.
I would appreciate a warning before the next time we decide to go through the sewers. These shoes aren't made for that.
To be fair, it wasn't planned like this.
I quite enjoyed it. Water is water, right?
Wrong. Where are we now?
Looks like the neighborhood of the Plumbob Pictures film studio.
I'd say it looks like your final destination.
Ravenhurst.
Mammini. Better give up right away. You're outnumbered.
Really? Was the great director of the SCIA not taught how to count at school? Because I'm only counting 5 of you, yet there's 7 of us.
What? But I thought. Where are North and Biddy?
Living their best lives, I'd assume, and indulging in some sexual harassment. Don't worry though, it's fully consensual this time.
It doesn't matter. We'll recapture you anyway, and then you can say goodbye to the privileges you've been enjoying in our comfortable prison until now.
Game on. The Orange Alliance goes to war.
Stay with Esper and protect her bitch. Nate would never forgive me if anything happened to her.
What? But...
I I really didn't want it to come to this, mischief. But you left me no other choice.
You made the choice to arrest 7 people for a crime they didn't commit, so don't blame me for your incompetence.
Even if that's true, there have to be more than enough other crimes on your conscience to justify locking you away forever.
My conscience is clean, but you're welcome to try.
Give up already, little girl? Even if you successfully block all my attacks, yours can't hit me, thanks to my necklace.
You were saying? Okay, so, you too, Loki? Is telekinesis for everyone now, or just for those with blue hair or skin?
A pity it had to end like this.
Enough.
Espa, honey. Are you okay?
I'm fine. You got here just in time.
Mum.
SCIA, lay down your weapons. This violent confrontation never happened. The timeless timekeeper was stolen by an unknown criminal not associated with the Mamminis or their friends. Anyone who claims otherwise is a liar and deserves to be prosecuted. Now call it a day, and go home.
Yes, Master Mercury.
Just like that. Wow, color me impressed.
I told you I could do it.
Yes, but if you are here, then that means. Loki, what did you do?
What needed to be done? Sorry, but I couldn't risk losing my family. I'd rather lose Shadow Veil. I'm sure some of you will understand.
A deal is a deal. But we're not done yet. I've been promised that your lawyer would draw up a fair contract. Won't you, Esperanza?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Me neither, but there will be time for explanations later. Let's get Aya to a hospital first.
No need. Just take me home. I can patch myself up there. I've had enough of this city.